Starting with a few mystery word prompts, a limited color palette, and a handful of collage papers, my artist friend Katherine and I somehow ended up in completely different universes. And today we're going abstract, where intuition overrides overthinking. Now the only thing to do is to jump in and let go. Part 1. Finding my art story. Every picture tells a story. It might be a story inspired by a recent trip through the Japanese Alps, where a man bound for Tokyo changes his plans and decides to stay in the country because there is no more beautiful place to be. Or a story about an otherworldly place where the divine feminine resides with an open-door invitation into a healing realm. Or perhaps a story of the Himalayan snowflower, which blooms every 100 years and has only been seen in artists' renditions and in mythical tales passed down through generations. So, what will my art story be about today? To find out, I'm going to jump right in. I've taped my heavyweight mixed media paper on one side and Gesso the other to prepare my base for painting. Now I'm opening the envelope to reveal my mystery words for the week. My person or avatar is Nico, my place or location is a harbor, and my object of interest is a mirror. Today I'm working with just one color, cadmium yellow, along with black and white. This week, I'm going to start with a painting first. I usually start with a 5-minute stream of consciousness writing exercise to get things going, but today, to mix things up, I'm going to combine the writing and the creating at the same time because I'm looking for surprises here. My goal is to enter the space where my intuition overrides my thinking. Having the 1-hour time limit helps me with this because I have no time to fiddle around or overthink what my next move will be. So I'm bringing in some texture here, adding some extra thick gesso and texturing it with some scrunched up tin foil to build up that texture for the frame of my mirror and wall it will hang on. My friend Katherine is doing the same art challenge today, but separately, so we don't influence each other's work. I've also added the extra parameter, which is to create an abstract artwork. I'm not entirely sure what direction that will take, because most of our artwork is already a bit abstract, but we'll see. But anyway, I've got the abstract intention in my mind. One powerful way to shift your perspective or story is to use someone else's name or avatar as a word prompt, or to look at the world through someone else's perspective or lens. So, as soon as I heard the name Nico, I was immediately transported to a small island in Greece. Nico is a nickname for Nicholas, which is a very common name in Greece, and also because we have a Greek friend named Nicholas. And I'm thinking that the Nico in my story has returned to his hometown on a small island somewhere in Greece. Here I'm creating the mirror that Nico is looking through to see the view behind him, which I am assuming will be the harbor when I get to it. Anyway, I've had a lot of fun putting my fingers into this textured paint, not my usual style, but technique I think I'll be using more of in the future. And now for a little Greek key decoration around the mirror. Very loose here, trying to go with the abstract theme, but which is harder than it looks. You know, trying to keep things loose is difficult. Okay, a little more wall preparation, and then go on to some preparation of the mirror, and finally a little shading here at the bottom of the mirror. All right. Now it's getting near time that I let this dry, and it looks like I have 45 minutes and 14 seconds left on the clock to finish this painting. Now this is where I have to go with the flow, because for the second part of this artwork I was so much in the zone that something went amiss and the second part didn't get filmed. The second part of this creation was adding the collage. Katherine and I exchanged envelopes of collage papers from our individual collections, which added a twist, since we each had unexpected materials to work with. Since I didn't film this collage part, I'll simply show you these collage papers I started with, and then my finished piece at the 1 hour mark. So here's my final piece at the 1 hour mark, but I can't say it's truly an abstract piece of art since it still represents familiar subjects. But I will say that focusing on the abstract art style did help me to stay looser with my art making. So that was a good thing. And I really enjoyed creating this piece, playing with the different textures and working with the collage papers that Katherine gave me. And here's the collection of collage papers that I handed over to Katherine to create her collage art. So Katherine went a little more abstract with her painting than I did, but I'm still seeing a few recognizable objects in there, but it's definitely more abstract than mine. But to get the true sense of this piece, I will read you Katherine's story. Nico was the energetic, charming captain of a fishing vessel outside of Homer, Alaska. Even under extreme duress, he never lost his cool, always lifting his crew's morale. One day, returning to port in dense fog and rain, Nico lost contact with the shore when his ship's instruments failed him, GPS and all. On instinct and beyond all reason, Nico reached for a hand mirror and held it to his face. Then, through his eyes, his radiant spirit cast a beam of supernatural light through the fog, guiding his vessel home. In this painting, Nico is looking through a mirror at the reflection of the harbor behind him, and in the right-hand corner, that's someone's hat. I think it's his father's, his old fisherman father. Here, Nico is reflecting on a decision. And as I was working on this, I realized this is another one of my homecoming stories, which seems to be a recurring theme in my artwork. I guess I've always been drawn to stories about people who go off and chase what they think they want, and then eventually return to their little hometown, realizing it was here all along. It's a bit of a Hallmark movie theme, I know, but that's where I've been landing these days. Now I'm thinking my Nico and Katherine's Nico might actually be the same person. Katherine's Nico has come back from Alaska to the Greek Isles to visit his family, and he's weighing whether he should stay, whether to trade icebergs for the warm blue Mediterranean Sea. So there you have it, abstract art or not, this was definitely another journey into learning something new. So stay tuned and subscribe here or like and subscribe below, and we'll see you in the next episode.